Hello and welcome here at ORTLIEB the camp. My name is Volker and I'm a marketing manager here at ORTLIEB. And today we have a lot of our brand ambassadors in-house and we show them around. And two of them are with me right now and we're going to start talking a little bit about bikepacking and the cycling industry. Hello, we have some questions for you. And to start, I would like you both to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you are doing in the bike scene. Let's start with Ondej.
My name is Ondej Vesely. I've been in the cycling industry for almost 20 years now. What I'm doing, like my day job is sports nutrition, and I kind of got myself into organizing cycling events. It happened very organically, I guess. I started bringing friends from the cycling industry to a very place I love the most. You know, that's where the border bash Bohemian gravel camp happens, on the border between Saxony and Bohemia. And you know, all these people there, they were well traveled, and I knew that I'm bringing them to special place because, you know, it was my special place. But everyone was so stoked about beer and you know, about the kind of cycling, you know, because it's just right, hilly, I guess, you know, so it's really nice cycling. And back then I was like, you know, maybe, you know, we should bring more people, and yeah, that's how it started.
And you?
Yeah, my name is Wiebke and I started bikepacking 2019. When I traveled to South America and I went from Colombia to Buenos Aires, or from Bogota to Buenos Aires by bike, and it was my first ever bike touring trip, and I totally fell in love with the way of traveling by bike. And since then I'm doing all kinds of trips, lots of bikepacking, some with friends, some on my own, everything.
So, and what is, like, when we're already talking about traveling with the bike, how, like, you said you're doing it since 2019, and for you, like, how long have you been, like, exploring the world by bike?
I don't want to say, I think, because I would be revealing too much about my age. Yeah, but yeah, gosh, I'm not sure. Like, one of my favorite trips, it was like when my daughter was 7, she's gonna be 20 this year. Oh, and we cycled 2 months around New Zealand on tandem.
That sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah,
and
so that's long time.
But when you both are experienced in exploring the world by bike, what is, like, the fascinating thing about, like, exploring it by bike? What is different than just traveling, I don't know, with a car or just traveling to places? What's the fascinating thing about the bike?
Yeah, for me it's just to be more close to nature and my surroundings, and I can stop everywhere, talk to people, I can go freely wherever I want, I can go on roads where there are no cars, I can just see all kinds of places, and I can bring everything I need with me, so it's a high sense of autonomy and freedom that I get from traveling by bike.
Well, for me, it's, you know, the only way how to travel and, like, enjoy it. You know, like, you know, car for me is just going somewhere because you have to get there. But like, you know, if you wanna explore and get to know a place, you know, the pace of a bicycle is just perfect. You know, walking, you know, I don't like walking, that's too slow. You know, like, you do 20 kilometers a day, you are exhausted and you are at the same spot.
I think it's the perfect combination of speed to you're slow enough to see the country and process also the distance, but it's fast enough that you really can cover, like, some distance.
Yep.
It's a really nice combination. For your last project, you've been cycling to the North Cape on your own. Is it something you would say you prefer, to be autonomous and traveling on your own?
I like both. I really like to go on my own, to find my own pace, to really be with myself, to get to know myself, to get to know my limits also. But I also actually really enjoy to spend the journey with other people. So I have in the past. Was really lucky that my twin sister could join me for some weeks in Peru, or I go with friends. I introduce them to bikepacking sometimes, but also I like the community and to be part of the bikepacking community, because like you already said, when you meet other cyclists, especially for me, it was in South America, even more, you stop, you talk, where are you going, where you've been, what's the plan, and you exchange, and there's so much you can learn from other cyclists as well. So it's not that I do it for myself because I don't like other people, but I also really like to have quality time for myself. So it's both.
Yeah.
Is really important.
Ondrej, you just been for the first edition of the Hellenic Mountain Race, which is an awesome but brutal race, about 900 kilometers. Well, after 4 days, you had to quit the race. But then you continued with your dear friend John. And how was that experience of like stepping out of the race, but then also trying to move on?
It was very difficult to quit for me, because I would never believe that I would step out of a race, because it's just a ride, and if you are tired, get a rest and just keep on pushing. It's just the fourth day, I still in the morning I didn't know that I'm gonna quit. I woke up at 4. Before 5 I was already pushing the bike again. But during the day, like when I was pushing the bike up some mountain pass, I just realized that it doesn't make any, I don't have fun, and it doesn't make any sense for me to keep going. The new bike was finished, by the day 4. I lost brake pads. I used up brake pads day 2. My shoes were falling apart. Fork stopped forking. Very new fork. Just the conditions, it was very unlucky. We were unlucky with weather. It was raining a lot, and it was a mud fest. So pushing bikes even on flat roads, because it was so much mud. The whole race has over 31,000 meters of climbing. And Nelson has, the organizer of Hellenic Mountain Race and Atlas Mountain Race. He decided to do this one very hard. There was a lot of carrying bike, like 5-hour hike bike onto top of a mountain pass. And
I think it's his actual way to live his sadistic part.
It was an adventure with a bike.
Yeah.
So I decided to stop in this town. I waited for my dear friend John Woodruff. We spent the following morning, trying to fix the bikes, at least some, so we can keep going. And so we basically went around the Pindus Mountains, which we were supposed to hike up again, and had really good time, on a bike, kind of like a bromance, food and wine and sleeping on the beach, and I even talked fishermen into taking us across the bay, so we wouldn't have to go 100 kilometers around. It was just wonderful. But I have a huge respect for everyone who finished, because it was super tough, and especially for my friend Quinda. She was the only woman finisher in the time. There is one more female finisher, Lisa from Belgium, and she finished days after everyone left, and huge respect to her.
Big shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
They're really
told herself
pushed through,
and she just basically walked to the finish, and it was. Women are tough, and I'm so happy. Last thing, I'm so happy that there is there's this change because more and more women are joining events, and doing these crazy things, and it's, for me personally, it's really important, because like since 2019 already, like I've been trying to figure out how to invite more female riders, to the gravel camp we do, how to make it sound like a safe place, and not to, at the same time as a guy, it's kind of, hard because you don't want to, sound creepy, it's like, hey girls, come. It's like, so I've been always trying to work with, female friends, to get this message out, and there is more and more women coming and doing this stuff, so it's awesome. Yeah.
For like, we've been to some of your events, and I love your quote about sometimes you carry the bike and sometimes the bike carries you. But I think for the Hellenic, there was a lot more carrying the bike.
Yeah, for the Hellenic, it would be more like you carry the bike so you can ride downhill.
Yeah, definitely.
To walk downhill.
So the race for sure is like part of the whole bikepacking community, or in this case, the ultra racer community. What is it for you that's like the community part in bikepacking or travel that appeals to you?
I think the bikepacking adventure or traveling community is very diverse, because you have the hosts, you have the fellow cyclists, you have people, strangers that you meet, they become part of the community without even knowing it. So it's basically everyone. But also, of course, you have like the core travelers who go cycling, traveling every year. So it's really, really, really different. And you have people on touring bikes, you have people on gravel bikes, you have people on road bikes, on mountain bikes. It can be anyone really who's in the community. So it's really, really, really big. And even like e-bikers these days are, for me, part of the community, because they also go from A to B with a bike. So
I think there has been a big change in the community, also regarding road cycling, which was quite like an elite and exclusive community. But with gravel, I think it got a lot more diversity, and actually more or less right now I feel like the only thing you need is a bike and to be yourself, and then you can ride with a group. And
it seems that there is less pressure.
Yes.
On person, like when you are, in gravel cycling.
Is this
you can just join.
Is this something which also is kind of your driving force for organizing such events? What you do, like with Bohemian, Border Bash in Czech Republic, and also Border Bash Aragon?
Yeah, well, I was never really in racing, especially the events around racing. People show up Saturday morning, they do the race, and they leave immediately after the race, and like there would be this empty feeling. It's like you didn't get to meet anyone, and so yeah, that's why my gravel camp is so long, from Thursday to Sunday, so people can meet. First night, everyone shows up, and they are, first beer, they look around, they are kind of shy, especially when they come alone. But then the following morning, people ride together, and everyone has, instead of a race number, they have their name on the bike, so it's easier. It's like, hey Lena, how are you doing? It's easier to approach people.
Yeah, I think it's both about community, like
exactly.
Bikepacking and ultra cycling.
For me, that's the fun part, the people. I can always go for a ride myself, but being with people and sharing stories, that's really special.
And like for you, you're quite active within the community, also with the Horizon. You've been around the country organizing community rides. You're quite active in the Women All Ride. and so I would say you're quite deep, like, into the cycling community. Do you see like any changes throughout the cycling community, the one way or the other, that it's like getting more inclusive, more diverse, or do you see like also that it's now, let's see, like gravel in the UCI or something, that it's getting also more exclusive again? Or do you like, what's your take on like how the scene is evolving?
I personally think that the cycling scene really tries hard to become more diverse in all ways. So from like the brand perspective, but also from the individuals. Everyone wants cycling to be open, that there's more flinter or women, females coming in cycling, and also more like entry-level events, entry-level rides, coffee rides, etc. So I think it's becoming more, so there are more people entering, and I think that's really, really cool. And I try to support that with everything I'm doing, whether it's work or whether it's the collective or my own social media work. I try to make everyone feel welcome, because the bike is really for everyone.
I think you too, like, that strongly within the community, that you can still work with the community, shape the community, and also develop it. I think there's still like a lot of potential for it. So thank you too. Thank you, Ondrej, for your amazing events. Thank you, Wiebke, for your whole community work, for getting people connected with bikepacking, to get them involved into exploring the world by bike. Thank you, Boo.
Thank you.